Thanks for tuning into this video. We've got Brad, our Razorback product specialist. We're going to run through a few common questions that we get asked about the product. So, Brad, what makes the Razorback different from a standard ride-on mower?
Yeah, good, Lawson. I guess the difference with the Razorback is that we like to refer to it as an all-terrain lawn and vegetation mower. So we'll do lawn okay, but more predominantly it does a great job at maintaining vegetation as well. I guess the combination of shaft-driven cutter deck and a four drive system with diff lock allows you to get into some of the most challenging conditions we've got here in Australia.
Right, and how does the Razorback handle thick scrub and challenging terrain?
Yeah, I guess the big difference is the deck isn't driven by a traditional V-belt, it's driven by a PTO drive shaft. Gets a lot more power to the ground, but also a lot more resistance to the impact associated with hitting vegetation. And then also four-wheel drive, you can get into some crazy places with that.
Right, and are the Razorbacks suitable for like a normal lawn as well as your heavy scrub?
Yeah, it's good you asked that actually, because they do a pretty good job of lawn, although they won't produce you an Insta-worthy lawn. Some of the new models now that have come out, they've done quite a bit of work underneath the cutter deck to improve that cut quality. But I guess the predominant application for these machines is heavy, long grass and a bit of vegetation. If you've got some nice grass, some grass around the house, and you need that tidied up, it'll do that also for you.
Yeah, and there's a new Razorback there's a new model in the Razorback lineup. What's different about this CMX2408?
Yeah, I guess it's just an addition to the next generation of machines that Razorback released last year. It's got all those features associated with that new model, with the steel panels, the larger wheels and tyres, and basically everything that Australia have been asking for, they've incorporated in this new machine. But this new particular model now has a Honda engine in there, the Honda GX 630 motor in there, which is a 22 horsepower Honda. Honda's just well known in Australia for its reliability, and it just runs so nicely, and yeah, a ton of power.
Right, so the Razorback has a bit of a different blade system. How does this work and why is it different?
Yeah, that's good, Lawson. So I guess here we've got a sample here. This is the blade from the Razorback machine. It's made out of Horosaki steel. Although no rotary cutting mower is rock proof, this has got awesome resistance to debris impact. And it's also dual sided, so you wear out one edge there, you can turn it upside down and cut again. We've got reports of these in the field getting hundreds and hundreds of hours of use. It's absolutely phenomenal. Also on the higher horsepower machines, it comes with a quick change tool system too, where you actually don't need to any tools to change the blades.
Okay, and what fail-safe does the Razorback have to prevent damage to the machine when you hit something like a rock?
Yeah, good question, Lawson, because we get asked that a lot because it's a direct drive system, it's PTO drive shaft. Usually if you hit a large rock or some large debris in the grass, you shred a belt and spit it out the side. So we get asked that question a bit, what goes if I do hit something? Well, there's actually three different systems in there to absorb that impact if you do hit something. First of all, obviously these blades are swinging blades, so if they do hit something, they usually swing back out of the road. Secondly, up the system within the gearbox on the cutter deck. The gears within the cutter deck are designed to absorb impact. They're actually spring loaded and they will absorb a lot of impact within that gearbox. And then the last fail-safe is there is a shear pin there as well. If you do have a catastrophic impact, that shear pin is designed to go. Obviously these are all just designed to prevent impact. No rotary cutting device is absolutely impact proof. We advise you assess your property first and try and get rid of those obstacles before mowing.
Yeah, and the Razorback, how steep can a Razorback go?
So they're rated to 25 degrees, which is actually very steep when you consider most other traditional mowers, whether they're your tractor rider mowers or your zero-turn mowers, are only rated to 15 degrees. So the fact they're rated to 25 degrees, that's a 66% improvement in slope mowing capacity. I guess it's the low centre of gravity and four-wheel drive, which gives you that safety and stability on slopes.
Yeah, and who is the Razorback best suited to?
I guess our primary customer base is the private property owner, just because there's so many private properties, particularly along the east coast of Australia, that's steep, people struggling to manage these properties. It's very well suited to that, but we also sell a lot to government agencies as well. Obviously just with the rise in awareness of operator safety, and I guess supervisors realising that most other equipment in their fleet is only rated to 15 degrees. And they're putting their operators at risk by putting them on slopes greater than 15 degrees. So we've got a machine that's rated to 25. We're starting to move a lot of those into government agencies also.
Sure. And why choose Razorback over a cheaper alternative?
Well, it comes down to what you define cheaper as the initial purchase price or cheaper cost of ownership. There's a lot of cheaper machines out there to start with, but the actual cost of ownership of a Razorback, we believe, will be much less. You haven't got as many wearing parts. We actually did a survey going back a little while where we surveyed the number one frustration of Ride-On mower owners, and the number one frustration of Ride-On mower owners is deck belts. There's just a constant frustration and expense. Whereas with the Razorback, that belt is replaced with a PDO drive shaft, removing the need to replace that belt, and just high quality Japanese components. Even these blades, we were talking about the work you get out of those blades if we have to replace them, actually reduces your long-term cost of ownership.
Sure. And Brad, how can I be sure that the Razorback's right for my property?
We're big believers of demos. We love doing demos. We love getting out on properties and showing these machines. Our motto is seeing is believing. We'd love to bring a machine out to your property and show it. We've got a vast network of dealers across the whole of Australia, most of which those dealers have got their own demonstration machines. Seeing is believing. Let's bring it out and do it.